touch on some opportunities that you might have had, whether they were politically, whether they were whatever it was. Touch on a few opportunities that you may have had that you can see that was beneficial.
But you know what? One thing I say about my mother, every opportunity that came available as far as education, I was a part of,
Mm.
especially me and my sister. All kind of reading clubs, book clubs, swimming lessons at the park districts, baseball teams. I didn't lack. So I can't say that I'm one of the kids in the neighborhood like that. Everything that when there was something that was there to take advantage of, I was able to have access to take advantage because my mother was so due diligent. Like I said, with the magnet program, and it was a University of Chicago program too, where they had it was almost like a student exchange. I was a part of that too, like in the fourth or fifth grade over the summer. So my mother, the thing is, it's like because of Miss Sullivan, the counselor, she engaged with the parents a lot and let them know what's out there for you.
Okay.
And we took advantage of every opportunity that came across, from summer
Mm.
jobs to everything. And those the type of thing. One thing I learned, what those opportunities do is they build you some character. They build character, morale, and drive and work ethic. And
Hmm.
you got to build those things early because when you turn 21, getting your first job, and you ain't used to having no work ethic and no drive, you almost in there like not enthusiastic or you not driven. You just there, and you be like, I could do something else. Especially in this competitive market where you got social media, cell phones, and influencers. Some of the kids don't have that oomph, that go get mentality, and learn how to earn what they earn their keep. So those opportunities, that's what a lot of those opportunities did for me. They taught me how to earn my keep.
Mm. That's tough. And I wanted to know that. I wanted to know that because I know Chicago has a stereotype, right?
Mhm.
To everybody almost in the entire world, right? What I know about us is that, and I'm born in California, but I consider myself a Chicagoan. Both my mother and my father were born here and raised here. They migrated later in the late '80s, to California. And so I was born there, but I was never really raised in California. I was raised right here in Chicago. This is where all my blood, sweat, and tears is, you know.
Mhm.
And so there's such a stereotype. And you have people like, for instance, a friend of mine, I invited a friend of mine here to from San Francisco, and he was afraid. He was wondering, was we gonna get robbed and stuff like that. He wanted to know if we had the same type of stores that he had in his town. He wanted to know, do y'all got Gucci? Do y'all got? So they don't even think we got like normal things here. They think like we are like Chi-raq, we a country of our own. You know what I'm saying? And that's not true. And so there's such a stereotype. I like to talk about the opportunities too that are here, because there are great many opportunities here. You know what I'm saying? And this really is a good town and a good city. Sometimes, it's just like having a frame, the frame, but it's got termites, right?
Mhm.
You know, the foundation is off. You know what I'm saying? So somewhere in between, because they took great leaders from us. They took Jeff Forrest, they took the Larry Hoovers, they took the Barksdales and the Free. Those were great leaders here. You know what I'm saying? Whether they like how they led, but that's who developed structure on these streets, the Walter Wheats and the Willie Lords. And because of them people, there was structure within your jails, and there was structure in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And those are just facts, and those are just things that we can't get away from. You know what I'm saying? And so I like to talk about the good things here too. You know what I'm saying? Because we all face challenges. Challenges is just a part of your everyday walk in life. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so we deal with that. And so I really wanted you to touch on that, because we do have normal things going on here, like you talked about working for
Oh,
the park districts and the different things that you are doing. You know what I'm saying? That's important. Because we do, whether the child takes that opportunity or not, it's presented to them. You know what I'm saying? And I like to just touch on that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But
You know
I
what?
want to
To add to what you did, we got Chicago Bills right now.
get.
We got the Chicago Bills programs where seniors and juniors. It's a citywide trades program where kids can learn HVAC, electrical, uh, carpentry, um, and welding. It's a citywide program that you and it's all year round too for seniors and juniors. And we still got trades in the school. A lot of people think the trades were removed out the schools. They did delete a lot of trades because over time, most of them weren't being used or they became obsolete, like just say secretary. That's no longer a thing now because technology replaced that. But you still got your other trades, like you got, like I said, the HVAC, the electrical, carpentry, you got the agriculture, then you got certain schools that focus on medical. So we do have opportunities here. And there's another thing called WIO grants, WIO,
Mhm.
Work Initiative Opportunity uh, I forgot what the A mean, those grants, because I benefited from one of those. It's like if you
Okay.
unemployed, you go in, you unemployed, and you're trying to either switch careers or you're trying to improve your skill or learn a new skill to help you get back employed. We all grants, they give you up to like $9,000. You fill it out, you give up to $9,000, you attend your training, you learn your new skill, and they help give you job placement too. And they're very successful with that. So it's a ton, it's a lot of opportunities out here. It's just the thing is, you got to go on those websites and look at them. You got to go on the website and look at what's out there. Even like the homeowner down payment assistance programs that they have here. There's plenty of them. There's almost like 10 of them. You go to the NHS, National Housing Services. They got great down payment assistance. I'd benefit from one of those too. So now the access is there. It's just being due diligence to get pointed to that direction and you go look for it. Because once somebody points you in that, they can't do the work for you. But Chicago, we a neighborhood of 70, we have 77 neighborhoods over here in Chicago. We got the most dynamic transit system where you can get to two airports without even driving. You can use the orange line and the blue line to get to two airports without even driving. You can ride the entire city and without a car. You could get from the suburbs using the metro all the way downtown. So, and we got a beach and a skyline. We got two of them in one. A lot of places don't have both of them. They might have one or the other, and they both beautiful. So Chicago is the dope city. It's just that we just got to deal with stuff on a micro level, like the crime and schools, to enhance what we already got.
This is a show that we want to be extremely informative for our fellow Chicagoans, because we lack information. That's important, And so we want to bring people like you who are, highly involved and educated, and can articulate themselves and be informative to the youth, especially. And then I was taught something when we were starting this, and I'm gonna get right back on task. But I was taught something when we first began to even think to do this podcast. You know, somebody asked me, who did I think that my followings would be? Who did I believe would be the people that was gonna tune in and watch this podcast? And with my I want to say I was simple minded with my answer. I didn't really even give it any thought. I'm just thinking that my peers and the people of my culture would chime into this show right here, but he was real exclusive, and it was a harsh reality that was laid on me. He said, "Your culture doesn't need to learn about your culture." So it won't be your culture. It's going to be your average 18 to 33-year-old white man or white woman that's going to tune into this show to figure out who a real Chicagoan is. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't understand. You know what I'm saying? So he was just telling me, just think out the box pretty much.